You've heard of HIIT, right? High intensity interval training. It feels like it's absolutely everywhere in the fitness world. And honestly, it makes sense. Who doesn't want the promise of great results in less time? But what if that workout we love, the one we think is making us healthier, is actually creating a problem for a really important part of our body?
So let's just get right into it. We're asking a pretty serious question here. Could your favorite go-to high-intensity workout actually be doing more harm than good, especially when it comes to your thyroid? So what is the deal with HIIT? Why is everybody so hooked on it?
Well, the appeal is obvious. I mean, we're all busy, right? The idea that you can get a super effective workout done in just a fraction of the time is, well, it's a game changer. At its heart, the idea behind HIIT is actually pretty simple. You go all out, full throttle for a short burst of time. Then you rest or do something really low-key to recover, and then you repeat. It's that cycle that makes it so darn efficient. But that all-out part, that's what we really need to zoom in on.
Okay, so let's switch gears and talk about how your body actually experiences one of these workouts. Because while your brain is thinking, yes, efficiency, fitness, your body might be thinking, uh-oh, emergency.
So here's the thing you have to understand. All exercise is technically a form of stress on the body. But intense exercise, that's a major stressor. It shoves your body way out of its comfort zone, its happy place of internal balance. And to deal with that, it releases a flood of stress hormones, like cortisol. Now that cortisol surge is key, because when those levels are high all the time, it can really mess with how your body uses its thyroid hormones. And before we connect all the dots, let's just make sure we're on the same page. Hypothyroidism, that's a condition where your thyroid gland just isn't producing enough hormones. And since those hormones run your entire metabolism, when you're running low, everything can start to slow down. You might feel tired, achy, you get the idea. So this is the really crucial point. If your body is already dealing with a slow metabolism because of hypothyroidism, piling the huge physical stress of a HIIT workout on top of that can just be overwhelming. Instead of building you up, it might actually wear you down even more, making those symptoms feel even worse. But, and this is a really big but, the story isn't quite that simple. The relationship between how hard you work out and how your thyroid responds isn't always a straight line. It can actually be pretty different depending on who you are. Just take a look at this. It's pretty fascinating, right? On one hand, you have sources like Paloma Health warning that for people who already have hypothyroidism, the stress from HIIT might be way too much. But then, on the other hand, a study in PubMed found that for overweight adolescents, HIIT actually had better effects on their thyroid hormones than moderate training did. And this just goes to show that we can't make these big, sweeping statements. The science is still figuring things out, and the debate is very much alive. It truly comes down to an individual's own health situation. Okay, so with all this complexity, what's the practical answer? How do you move forward? The key isn't to just blindly follow a trend. It's about learning to listen to your own body and finding the intensity that's right for you. And here is a fantastic, super simple tool you can use literally anywhere. It's called the conversation test. If you can chat with someone while you're exercising, you're probably in that moderate intensity zone. But if you could only get a few words out or you're just too breathless to talk at all, you've officially entered high intensity territory. And to make that even clearer, just think about it like this. A brisk walk where you can still talk is a perfect example of moderate intensity. But stuff like running, swimming hard laps, or hiking straight up a mountain, yeah, those definitely fall into that vigorous, high-intensity bucket. So what should you aim for? Well, the CDC has some really solid, science-backed guidelines. For general health, they recommend getting at least 150 to 300 minutes of that moderate intensity exercise every week. But hey, if you prefer those tougher workouts, that's totally an option. The guideline for vigorous exercise is just about half of the moderate one, 75 to 150 minutes a week. The choice is really yours. It's all about what works for your body and your life. All right, so we've looked at the science, we've talked about the stress response, we've gone over the guidelines. What is the number one thing you should walk away with? It really all comes down to one powerful idea. This quote from Paloma Health really says it all. Your health situation is totally unique to you. So before you dive headfirst into a new intense fitness plan, the absolute smartest first move you can make is to just talk to your doctor. And that is the ultimate takeaway. You have to forget about the trends, forget about what everyone else is doing, and forget about the idea of a single perfect workout. The real goal is to find movement that supports your body, not adds more stress to it. that's not just a trend, that's just smart fitness. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. After your next workout, instead of just rushing to the next thing, take a quiet moment and just check in with yourself. Do you feel energized or do you feel completely wiped out? Because honestly, the best fitness advice you will ever get is probably already coming from inside. So, what is your body telling you?